how good is Benjamin on Chimps mode, and is there a point in using him well in your Chimps games? So Ben is a hero that makes money, and he makes a lot of money. He's actually the best hero at making money, but how good is he at popping balloons and, well, just helping us in popping balloons? And the answer is, well, not particularly. Or is he? Because he actually might not be as bad in Chimps mode as people might think. If you take a look at Ben's abilities, everything has something to do with money or restoring life. Like, for example, level 1, level 2, level 4, 5, 6, all of these guys, they don't work in Chimps mode. And then as you progress further down, is just improvements of these abilities. So skimming, income increase, bank hack, restoring lives, and none of these things work in Chimps mode. Now, the way that we can measure how effective Ben is on Chimps mode is obviously not by the amount of pops that he has, and the extra damage that he gives is really not a measurable metric, but he's got two abilities that actually remove pops from the game, which is the level 7 Trojan ability, which affects a balloon, and then that balloon does not spawn any small balloons. Let me have Ben like this, by the way. This is a big reason why I chose this map in the first place. And then the level 10 ability, which downgrades all spawned balloons by 1 layer, essentially removing a lot of RBs. So the way that we measure how much of an impact Ben had in our Chimps games is going to be through the amount of balloons that he removed from the game, the amount of RBE. Now we can do that because we know that there are 2,042,000 pops in total in Chimps mode, so the total amount of pops when we tallied up together at the end is going to be the pops that Ben has essentially removed from the game and that we didn't have to pop. Now this placement of Ben is actually really important because of how the Trojan works. So the Trojan affects a balloon. Well, you guys already know how it works, but let me just contextualize it for you guys. So the Trojan affects a balloon, and that balloon does not spawn any small balloons out of it. Well, the problem with the Trojan is that because no small balloons get spawned, you cannot pop them. And if you cannot pop those balloons, you don't get money for them. So for example, if Ben throws a Trojan on the round 40 Moab, we can pop the Moab layer, but there are going to be no ceramics spawned. And that means that we cannot pop those ceramics, and in turn, we're not going to get any money out of ceramics. So, you know, looking at this long term, he's going to start costing us a lot of money. You're actually going to be losing money by using Ben. Now, in obviously, you know, in a normal game, this doesn't actually matter that much because he does make money through all of his other abilities, but in Chimps mode, he doesn't make money. So he's actually going to be losing a tremendous amount of money for us. And so, of course, the reason why he's behind the obstacle is, well, if he cannot see his target, then the Trojan is not going to get spawned. So he cannot see the track, and therefore the Trojan is not going to get launched into any Moab class balloons. So that's why we have it like this, but we're going to remove the obstacle later on, and we're going to see exactly how much pops we can remove. And let's actually start by buying this thing. Let's go for the Crossbow Master. I don't know, I feel like buying the Crossbow Master for some reason. I know that this is like, it's probably going to be like a mediocre tower that's not going to be doing too much, but let's go with mediocre city onto this one. So we have the round 40 Moab incoming, and this is the exact reason why we have been hidden around here, because we get these ceramics, and then we pop the ceramics, and look at the money go up at the top. We just made a couple $100 just from those ceramics, and that's a really important thing to have. Okay, so let's go like this. I want to get a village which is going to be buffing this up. Is it in range? Yeah, there we go. It's in range. And I also want to be getting a spike factory, which is going to be a carpet of spikes. So let's go like this. Let's go for the 420 alg. Let's get this spike factory. Oh my god, it doesn't even... Oh, I'm just noticing this. It doesn't read the track. Well, it does with the alg buff actually. So that's... Oh, this tower is only going to be useful with its ability mostly. Okay, so round 49, we're doing fine so far. Like, we're kind of banking a little bit on some crits happening. I think we need to use the biohack, so let's use it just to get rid of the ceramic wave. And then, you know, the problem with the biohack, which you guys already know, is that the towers stop attacking for a short while, so you kind of want to be ready with this one. And I feel like the spike pile at the bottom, in case of emergency like this, spike pile is probably going to be helpful for us. So let's go like this. Let me get the Moab Share and the Spike Storm, because we're going to have a lot of Moab class balloons incoming, and I really like having these abilities to work with. And round 54, a bunch of ceramics and Moab, so this is going to be a good test round for our towers, but I actually wanted to buy the AP darts anyways. And one thing it's missing, like Ninja, I know people have said this as well, but it's called AP darts, but it cannot pop lead balloons. That's just so weird, because when something is like armor piercing, you would expect, well, it's gonna go through armor and like lead balloons and metal, whatever it is, but this thing, no, it's just extra damage. And then from round 63, it is looking like we're not gonna be able to afford a single tier 5, which is a little bit concerning, but it might be the time for us to remove this tower and to start using some of Ben's abilities actually. Yes, look at this thing. So round 59, $16,000. The money is not looking as good, guys. Let's see how we're gonna do versus these lead balloons. I think we can use the ability, but at the same time, like, this is gonna be a BFB coming around 60, so I'm not exactly sure. Let's try and kind of work with what we have so far. It's only gonna be the AMD buffed sub, and it's not looking good, I don't think. Or is it? There's a spike pile in the middle as well. If this spike pile holds, then we get get the ability for 60, and is it gonna hold it barely? Yes, very good. Alright, so the Alec buff giving a little bit of extra range, and let's use the ability for round 60. Okay, so we might have ran into a little bit of trouble. So here's what I want to do. First off, I want to remove this thing so Ben can finally start throwing around the Trojans. So yes, we are going to be starting to lose money from this point, but at the same time, like it is what it is. It just has to be done. And then number 2 is that we're going to have to buy the level 10, which is the siphon funding ability. So let's see how we're going to do on round 63. So 2,500 for level 10. I should buy this thing. So let's just go like this. 17k left over, and let's just see how our towers do without doing anything. So yeah, round 63 is going to leak. We're going to have 3 waves of ceramics, but we now have abilities, and that's a good thing because we can respond to this. Okay, so I've got an idea for this one actually. Does the biohack ability buff the spike storm ability? Because if it does, we can maybe do some shenanigans. So what I'm thinking is maybe we can get 2 waves with 1 single spike storm ability. So I'm gonna wait for the ceramic wave to be on the last wave. Let's use the biohack like this, and then when these ceramics are like here, I'm gonna use the ability. And so look at this, at the top 2 rows we still have spikes. So when the second wave of ceramics appears, it's gonna bump into the spike storm. I'm not sure how much extra damage that was, but hopefully this is enough. Yes, it's enough for the, yes, that was second wave of ceramics. And then for the third one, we just used the siphon funding, which we just bought the level 10. So income these guys that time around. Nope, there we go. Can use the biohack as well, so I might as well do that. Let's get some extra damage, and I think, yes, that's gonna be round 63. There we go. Some Benjamin action. There we go. This guy actually does something. That was really cool. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm starting to see a little bit of a problem with the cash that we're making. Like, we're not losing that much cash so far, but at the same time, it's like starting to, and it's gonna be adding up the further we go. So I'm just thinking maybe we skip the sub commander and the crossbow master altogether, and we just straight up go for these game-winning towers like the carpet spikes, and then maybe we can plug some holes into our defenses. Alright, so it's round 74, but 75 is around that we're not defending with this setup, so I was thinking of using the siphon funding to reduce the RB on that round by a lot, hopefully give us a winning chance. So I'm actually gonna do that as soon as these ceramics pop. There we go, I used it, and so we need to reduce a huge amount of this round. Well, actually, I mistimed that by a lot. Oh my god, these BFBs are still on screen. Okay, so this is a little bit of an issue because you can't restart if you use the, if you use the ability before the round goes out. So let's hope for the best. I mean, I spike stormed and it destroyed all the BFBs, but this is not looking good, I don't think. I guess this is where the Trojan is gonna be coming in handy. We are gonna have a spike storm. Oh no, never mind, we're not gonna have spike storm. Yeah, this is not gonna work out. I mean, if we beat this round somehow, I do think that we might have a shot at just like avoiding the carpet spikes and then getting a little bit of a period in which we can chill, but this is not looking good, guys. It feels like we have to buy something else, but I'm just wondering what that something is gonna be. So another spike storm is gonna be out, so the siphon is, well, it's useless onto this round. So yeah, because, well, it only downgrades the balloons that are about to come out, so it's gonna be handy for 76 if we survive this one. But are we surviving it? Biohack, I mean, I'm using it. Oh, we're gonna survive it, and I use the siphon funding, and we need to defeat this round right now, because if we don't beat it like this and we restart it, these guys are gonna appear as ceramics. So I'm gonna need these guys to go to town, and that's just the perfect set of circumstances. I have no idea how we beat 75 with this funny setup, but we are rolling, guys, somehow. Alright, so 78, this is where the siphon funding is actually really important, so let's use it right now. We're gonna reduce all these waves of ceramics, and again, we're losing money doing this, and I'm absolutely aware of that, but we just have to do it because I don't think we're defending the ceramic waves. And then I think it's gonna come off cooldown for the camo ones as well. I'm just gonna use it as soon as it comes off cooldown, like right now, and I hope it just affects all these camo waves. And yes, there we go. So 43,000, this is the money, is the only thing that I'm watching, by the way, because we need 45k, and somehow we're still surviving, and we have to use the ability, and oh my god, the money's just not going up. Alright, so this is gonna be the round. If we beat this round, we get the carpet spikes, and then things are gonna become a little bit easier for us. Again, we have not even still, you know, went into free play, and oh my god, it's lagging. I'm spamming the button. Yes, we got it. Oh my god, that's so ridiculous. And this is where Ben and the siphon funding are gonna be, well, starting to become a lot more useful, and I'm gonna be using it a lot more. So for example, as soon as this round ends, it's gonna be 82 with a bunch of BFBs and a bunch of 45 BFBs at the back. So I use the siphon funding, and look at this thing, Moab class balloons. A bunch of Moabs, by the way, on this one, and I'm a little bit late on using this, and look at this thing. Look at these ceramics. It's like a bunch of green ceramics. That's supposed to be Moab class balloons, by the way. And let's actually use it on 88. So I use this thing, and look at this thing, green Moab. So that's BFBs, guys. So much money. And look at this thing. This is just small Moabs. All of these guys should have been Moabs. Nope, just straight up ceramics. I mean, can't hate this guy. What he does for us is actually something that no other tower does, I don't think. But at the same time, it comes at a cost, and you really want to be careful in how you use this thing. So we are gonna have the siphon funding, and I have a question. Does it reduce DDTs? And I think you need like a higher level on it. Am I correct about that thing? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. So we're gonna test it onto these DDTs. So let's pop these 45 BFBs. I'm gonna use the active ability as well, and then let's try to see if the siphon funding funding. Oh, it's actually getting close, by the way. Okay, so let's use the siphon funding and let's see if it does reduce DDTs. I don't think it does, by the way, but what do I know? So that's supposed to be the... Oh, well, it doesn't actually. Yeah. So it lasted through them, but it doesn't actually reduce DDTs. That's an interesting thing to know. That's going to be important for these upcoming rounds, like 95 and 99, actually. Okay, so let's finally get our sub commander. We need to get some extra damage going. Well, the spike factory is really nice, but it's not going to win by itself. So let's go like that, and let me do this. Let me just buy like one more AP darts. Now, actually, if we can fit one more in the range of the village. Nah, we can't. It's fine. Let's just have like 2 of these subs go like this. Let me start buying up these support towers. So Relentless Zulu is going to be my next choice. And oh, wait a minute. I forgot to use the ability. I use it now. So siphon funding. We did not reduce 2 of the BFBs, but we got like 3 of them. So it's still fine. And yes, it doesn't work on DDTs, which is, I guess it's a bummer, but at the same time, it would have been a little bit too OP for rounds like 95 and 99, right? Alright, so still on cooldown for 94, but I do want to save it for these big ones because if you guys know how round 98 comes out, it comes out like almost the entirety of the round just comes out in one go. So if we use the siphon funding, that means that we're going to effectively remove so much RB of the game. It's actually going to be crazy. But let's actually survive 94 first because it is not looking good on this one. So how do we do this? We need to buy a bunch of support towers, I think, so that because the damage is there, but we're still relying on the spike factory, right? So maybe like some support towers are going to be nice in just helping us win this game and buying some time in general. So let's just get those guys as well. Let's go like this. Let me get like a boomer. This is going to be a 204 boomer. I'm going to have this guy strong. We should not be having any problems with the DDTs, and I'm actually not going to use the siphon funding on 95 because I want to use it on 96. Now the way the 96 comes out is going to be a bunch of BFB first and then ZOMGs. So if we can remove a bunch of the BFBs and actually the 45 mobs on 96, that's going to be amazing. And yeah, there we go. So 95, pretty easy clean for our carpet spikes. And now this is the round which I think we want to use the siphon funding onto this one. So a bunch of BFBs that we're going to reduce and a bunch of 45 mobs which are going to turn into 45 ceramics, by the way. Look at these guys go. So that was a decent amount of the RB getting removed. But again, maybe a little bit of a problem that the siphon funding has is that it doesn't last too long, right? Maybe it would be interesting if it worked like on some of the balloons that are already on screen or something like that. Would that be a little bit OP? Like, how would you balance that thing out? Because I guess it sounds cool when I think about it, but it sounds a little bit OP as well. I don't know, guys, but let me just get one more boomerang. Let's just keep these guys in place. Let's go on strong onto this guy as well, and let's just try and keep buying some time for our carpet of spikes to do its thing. And the money is at $6,000. So yeah, it would be a really cool stat actually to see how much money you have lost in this scenario. But I guess this is like way too niche of a scenario for anyone to care and just put that metric into the game in the first place. All right, so this is 97, and actually 98 is gonna be the big one, in which I think that we're gonna remove so much RB of 98 is gonna be insane. So the total RB on 98 is over 300,000, and as soon as these guys pop, I'm just clicking the button straight up and it's gonna remove so many BFBs and ZOMGs. There we go. So I just use the ability. Hey, look at this thing. So ZOMGs are actually getting removed. And wait, why did this guy? I think this guy popped out before I used the ability, so I might have mistimed it a little bit. But look at this thing, guys. Green BFBs, and that's what was supposed to be ZOMGs on the screen. So a lot of the RB of this round moved, and this is actually one of the actual good reasons why you can make the argument, you can make the case for Ben on Chimps Mode, because look at this thing. No more ZOMGs on screen. These were supposed to be ramped up around 98 ZOMGs. They're just gone. They're just not here. Now you are gonna have the issue of defeating the small balloons, I guess, but if you have bought, you know, some defensive towers, then I guess you can kind of manage. I mean, I don't know, guys. This Benji thing seems to be sort of working out. I don't want to jinx it. With 2 rounds left, it's gonna be DDTs on the next one. 45 DDTs, which again we cannot reduce. I think I need. Oh my God, there's a spike pile at the bottom. I need to use the ability, so let's use it like this, and hopefully we get a passive ability actually for the 45 DTs, because we cannot reduce these guys. And actually, I'm gonna use the siphon funding for one last time because it obviously doesn't work on the bad balloon, and I'm gonna need the passive ability right now. Oh wait, what's happening? Passive ability, there we go. Was that a little bit too late? No, it was right on time. There we go. And the bad balloon around 100, which is absolutely not gonna be a problem for our towers because, well, we have the carpet spikes, and this is, by the way, the reason why I wanted to buy the carpet spikes in the first place. Let's use the buy hack for one last time, and then maybe we can do some sort of a pop count at the end to see how many pops Ben saved us. Wait a minute, I just ran the numbers, and is this correct? The total amount of pops that we got from all our towers is 1,713,000, which means Ben removed over 300,000 pops from the game. Is that true? So if Ben was a hero in this game, he'll have the 3rd highest pop count out of all of the towers, which is actually a little bit crazy when you think about it, given that half of his kit doesn't even work in a Chimps game. But well, that was surprising for me to say the least, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So if you guys have used Ben in Chimps Mode, let me know how that went, because this is a little bit of a surprising result for me. But that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one.